Now we're going to learn a few little tricks and tips for creating a nice blog post. I've given my paragraph answers to those Arcan Learns prompts under transfer, and under each title I've written my responses. One thing that we can do is we can highlight the words. It's all normal right now. I can go ahead and decide if this is going to be a heading, a subheading, a minor heading, and so on. So I'm going to call that a subheading. We can see what it looks like. I can go ahead and make it a heading. It's going to change it a little bit, minor heading. And actually it looks like this template, everything is pretty much the same. And I'm going to go ahead and make this a subheading, make this a subheading. Now, the next thing that we want to do is when you talk about something, it's really important to be able to give people a link. So if they want to learn a little bit more, they can go ahead and click on the link to get at that information. So I believe that Linda Yalis has a good system working with her young students. It might be useful to find a way to link to Linda Yalis on the internet. And I enjoyed a short YouTube video, so I should give somebody a link so they could see that YouTube video if they want. So let's start by going over here to Blogger. I'm sorry, to the Google site. This is the YouTube video, and if I give a click, I should be able to go over to YouTube. I'm going to pause the video, and this would be the web address of this video. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that, go back over to Blogger. To make a link, highlight the words that you want to actively be clicked on to get to that video. So I'm going to highlight short YouTube video. And this little option here gives you the link. And I'm going to paste the link in there for that web address and say OK. So now that's a clickable link. I'm going to create a new tab, and let's see if I can find Linda Yalis, and this is her blog, so why don't we give a click to there. So if somebody wants to learn more about her, we can say meet Mrs. Yalis. That'll be a fine place to link, so I'm going to highlight that, copy the web address, come back over to Blogger, highlight her name, and make that a link. As I was writing, I talked about the fact that it allows me to pause and reflect on what I'm working on. As I write, I begin to reflect on what I'd like to try next. An example is my work with teaching students to search for information on the internet. So I would like to show a link to that. I'm going to go over to ianoroteaches.com and go over to my educational journal. And I'm going to search for internet, and we'll do a link. Let's see if we do the search, what we've got: internet safety, information, and research fluency. So that would be the topic. And internet research is my broader category. That's a problem. Okay. So let's see what else I can do. Let's go do a search for internet research. Okay, so state research, the important book, Director of Instructional Technology, building web search at a conference. Next page. Website authority bias. Okay, so this would be an example blog post that I would be talking about. So I've got this in front of me. I'm going to highlight the link. I'm going to copy it. And an example of this is my work teaching students to search for information on the internet. So an example of this, I'm going to highlight those words, give it a link to that blog post, and say OK. And I think those are all the pieces that I want to link to. Now the next thing that you want to do is you want to be able to put a picture to grab somebody's attention related to this. One of the easiest ways to find pictures I know of is to go to Flickr.com, because many people post pictures to Flickr. I'm always careful to make sure that I use pictures that people are willing to share. So I'm going to write the word blogging. I'm going to search everybody's uploads. And what I'm going to do is go to advanced search and make sure that I select only Creative Commons licensed contents. That allows me to look for things that people say in advance that can be shared. And this happens to be up there, but I'm just going to flip through and see if there's a picture that sums up my thoughts. And let's see. Oh, that's kind of nice, The Art of Blogging. So I'm going to click on this picture and I'm going to see what the license is. It says that some rights are reserved. I know in advance that this means that I just have to say who created this. So I have to give appropriate credit by providing a link to the license and indicate if changes were made. So let's go back to that picture. I can either download it and upload it to the computer, or I can right click. Let's see if I can do that. No, I don't think I can. Okay, so I'm going to download this picture, and I really just need a small picture, so I'm going to go for small. Now that picture's been downloaded, and I'm going to use this icon here, which is to insert an image. And now I'm going to choose the file. It should be in my downloads folder right here. And I'm going to add that selection. It brought the picture down to the bottom. Usually I enjoy having the picture more up at the top of the page. And I can make it small, medium, large by clicking on these buttons here. And one of the properties that I would like to do is put it on the right side of my blog post. That's just the way that I like to look at them. And now I have to go to the bottom and give my citation. And usually what I like to do is I like to include a link to the picture. I shorten the link by taking out a lot of the information. After Flickr/photos/the user ID/the number, I just know from doing it that I can get rid of these extra words and characters. And if I press return, it's just showing me that picture. So I'm going to copy that link, paste it in there. And usually what I also do is I try to say what the title of this picture was. So the title is The Art of Blogging, and it's by MKH Marketing. So I'll say Creative Commons Attribution, The Art of Blogging by MKH Marketing. And I believe, let's see what else, that was July 31st, 2011. So I usually like to give all the details. July 31st, 2011. And it's nice if this is again clickable. So if somebody wants to go to that picture, they can go to that as a link. And I am pretty much set. So I am going to review what I wrote. And once I read through everything, If I'm happy, I'm going to save it. So I'm just going to pause the recording. Okay, I've read through everything. I've made some corrections. I'm going to preview what this looks like. That's going to show me what people will see. And it looks like I would like an extra blank line between different direction and implications and after improvements before degree of incorporation to practice. So it popped open a preview window. I'm going to close that. I'm going to come here and press an extra space in those two places. I'm going to preview that again. Now I like how it looks. I'll close my preview window and I am going to publish. If I was just going to work and come back to it later, I could hit save and I'll show you what that looks like in a couple minutes. Here's publish. So now I want the world to see this. What I can do, these are all the posts that I've written so far, my thoughts on blogging, and I'm going to view it. So this is a direct link to my Blogspot blog for the year 2015 in April, and I titled the post My Thoughts on Blogging, which turns into my-thoughts-on-blogging.html.